Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad to have you back here at Sunday School, learning about reflections of the heart. If you didn't know, we are in the season of Lent, and we are already on week 3. We're halfway through the season of Lent. Easter is getting closer and closer every day. Over the last few weeks, we have been reflecting on our hearts, right? We've talked about what things our hearts treasure. Last week, we talked about how sharing our heart helps us to connect with people well, and that the way that we connect well with people is by being curious, right? And learning about one another and asking questions of one another. And this week, we're going to hear a story that's all about knowing the good. Now, this is found in Matthew chapter 19, verses 16 to 26. So I have my Bible here with me, and I'm going to read it for us. All right. Matthew 19, 16 through 26. A man approached him and said, "Teacher, what good thing must I do to have eternal life?" Jesus said, "Why do you ask me about what is good? There is only one who is good. If you want to enter eternal life, keep the commandments." Well, the man asked, "Which ones?" Then Jesus said, "Don't commit murder, don't commit adultery, don't steal, don't give false testimony," which means, tell lies about other people. Honor your father and mother. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. The young man replied, "I've kept all of these. What am I still missing?" Jesus said, "If you want to be complete, go. Sell what you own and give the money to the poor. Then you will have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me." But when the young man heard this, he went away saddened because he had so many possessions. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "I assure you that it will be very hard for a rich person to enter the kingdom of heaven. In fact, it's easier for a camel to squeeze through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter God's kingdom." When the disciples heard this, they were stunned, and they asked, "Well, who then can be saved?" Jesus looked at them carefully and said, "It is impossible for human beings, but with God, all things are possible." So, in this story this week, we see a young man who goes to Jesus and talks to him about feeling incomplete. He had wealth. He probably got along well with people in his town. People probably may have liked him. He obviously had family and friends somewhere. So it would seem that his life had everything he needed. But he goes to Jesus and he asks what he needs for eternal life. He wanted his life to have more meaning. So clearly everything that he had wasn't giving him all that he felt like he needed in his heart. Jesus told him that the way to create a meaningful life was to follow the commandments that God gave the Israelites, the 10 Commandments. We've talked about the 10 Commandments before, and they list some of them. Don't steal, honor your father and mother, honor God, honor other people. The commandments helped people live in a society of justice and peace. It helped keep harmony among everybody. Because the 10 Commandments were focused on what God said that people needed to do in order to take care of one another and honor one another and honor God. The two most important things. The man tells him, "Well, I follow all of the commandments and I still don't feel whole. It still feels like something's missing." Jesus tells the man that if he wishes to be perfect, he would have to sell his possessions, give the money to the poor, and follow him. And then he would have treasures in heaven. So I think it's interesting that Jesus uses this word perfect. I mean, who's perfect, right? When we think of perfect, we think of something that is flawless, there's nothing wrong with it, or a person who's never made any mistakes ever. So of course to us, trying to be perfect feels impossible. But in Jesus' time, and in Jesus' language, perfect didn't mean what we think it means. Perfect to him meant whole, grown up and mature, someone who's virtuous, means they have good values, and complete. So Jesus tells this young man with a lot of wealth that in order to feel complete and be perfect, he would have to let go of some of these things and make room for other things in his heart. Now, when we think of someone today that might be wealthy and young, maybe you think of someone that you like on YouTube that has a big following. They probably make money from their YouTube videos. We might think of sports players that we really like. I know for a lot of my younger friends, JoJo Siwa, she's got YouTube, right? She sells bows. She's huge. She has so many followers and so much money. And Jesus tells this rich young man that in order to become more of a full human, to be a grown person, he would have to grow in maturity, act more grown up, and let go of some of the possessions and the wealth that he had acquired in order to figure out what mattered most to him. When we choose to be giving and love our neighbors more than our stuff, we become more peaceful and joyful people. We become more like the kind of person that God intends for us to be. Now, it says in the story that this rich young ruler, he walked away sad. And maybe someone that we think is really rich and famous and powerful today, like our YouTube stars or our sports figures, if they were told the same thing by Jesus, they might be sad too. Now, Jesus goes on to say that for us to walk away entirely from what we have would be really difficult for us. But he says that nothing is impossible with God. If we love God enough, and if we are seeking God's wisdom and God's guidance, we will be able to do these things that seem impossible for us, like let go of our possessions, in order to have a more full life that's full of people and love and not just stuff. So, my questions for you this week to reflect on, and they are found in your Sunday school packet for this week, are to think about what things make you feel like a whole person. What things make you feel complete and joyful and like you're exactly who you want to be. Also, think about how can our earthly treasures keep us from being whole? How do they hold us back? And what can help us hold our earthly treasures a little looser and not so close to us in order for us to gain heavenly treasures? What are the things that can help us do that? These are big questions for us to think about this week. So take time to talk about them with your siblings, with mom and dad or grandmom or whoever you're with, and see if maybe they have some things that they've done in their life that have helped them too. In fact, that's one of your activities for this week. As you remember, in your Lent take-home bag, you have a little notebook. I hope that you all have started using your notebooks to write down your prayers or your thoughts, or to create art, and also to write down some of the things that you talk about in your interviews. Like last week when we had the curiosity seat, and this week we have an activity where you are going to interview someone that you see as older and wiser than you. And the goal for you is to learn from them how to grow in wisdom and be able to learn how to focus on the things that are really important to you and not just the fun possessions or material stuff that we can acquire. In your packet, there is some questions that you can ask. And remember, write down your answers in your notebook so that you can remember the conversations that you've had and you can go back and reflect on them and you can remember it. The other thing we're going to do this week is a little project to help you remember that there are many different pieces to you that help you be perfect. And remember, perfect means whole. And so this week, we are going to be making our perfection puzzle. So in your Lent take-home bag, this purple bag, there was a little plastic bag in it that had some puzzle pieces. So first thing you need to do is put your puzzle together. I put my puzzle together so that you could see what it looks like put together, and that way if you're having trouble putting it together, like I did, I'm not very good at puzzles, you know which pieces go where. So This is my puzzle put together. I'm going to try to hold it so that you can see it enough to know where the pieces go. So this is my puzzle put together. So after you do that, the things that you'll need for this activity are just some markers or crayons. And what I would like for you to do is to take whatever your drawing utensils are, and I want you to write, if you're able to, or if you need help, have someone write for you the word perfect across your puzzle. Do this while it's complete, because it looks kind of cool when you take it apart and put it back together to kind of see that different parts of the word fall on different pieces. It just makes it look really neat. So I'm going to do that for you really fast here. And you want to do this on a flat surface so that it's a little easier to write on. And take your time so that your puzzle doesn't come apart, and that way you don't make any mistakes that you won't like. Although, mistakes are okay. Because remember, perfect doesn't mean never making a mistake. Perfect just means whole and becoming more of who you are. Okay, I'm writing really slow so that it doesn't come apart on me, because I'm worried that I won't be able to get it back together. I've seen over the last few months, some of you are very avid puzzle creators and put togetherers. It's not a real word, and it's amazing. I have never been very good at puzzles. They just take me a long time to figure out. But some of you have put together some puzzles that are so many pieces. It's amazing to see. Okay. Now I will probably touch this up a little bit, but this is my rough put together of my word perfect. There it is. Now, what else I would like for you to do is around your word on the different pieces of your puzzle, you can write or you can draw things that you have in your life that make you feel whole and complete. What are the things that you love, the people that you love, the treasures that you keep in your heart that make you feel like the best version of yourself? I want you to write those and draw those inside of your puzzle. And when you're done, if you're able to, you might be able to find a frame that you can put your puzzle in. That way, if you want something that you can look at all the time, you can hang it up, and it's a reminder to you of the things that make you feel like whole. And as a reminder too, that perfect doesn't mean no mistakes. Perfect just means becoming more of who we are. Or if you don't want to keep it whole, take it apart. And maybe you have days where you're just feeling down about yourself, or you're feeling like something is missing. You can put together your puzzle as a reminder to you of the things that make you feel like a whole person, and the things that give you life that aren't just your stuff. My friends, that is our lesson for this week. As a reminder, everything that you need for our lessons are in your Lent take-home bags and folders. Each week we have a coloring page that goes with our lesson. This is our young man with Jesus. I am working on coloring mine because eventually I want to be able to hang them up behind me so that you can see them. And I just really love to color. It is really soothing to me. So I hope that you all are enjoying these as much as I do. And reminder that you can send me pictures of your projects, pictures of your reflections and your prayers, any thoughts that you have on the treasures of your heart. I would love to see them and share them with our other friends. My friends, I'm going to close us with a prayer, and we will see each other again next week. Let's pray. Dear God, you include us and embrace us even when we do not feel perfect or whole. There's nothing we can do to cancel out your love for us. May you inspire us to make wise choices, to have generous hearts, and to seek invisible treasures in heaven. Amen. That's it, my friends. I will see you again next week. I hope you all are doing well, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.